Hi, I'm Dr. Lucas Yeo and I'm your sunscreen doctor. Today I'll be comparing the differences between each SPF number and also the PA rating on your sunscreen bottle. If you've ever went to a pharmacy, picked up a sunscreen and thought to yourself, why don't I just get the highest SPF rating on the bottle, right? But that's actually marketing making you think that the higher the SPF number, the higher the shield. And that's not how it actually works. So today I'll be showing you what numbers actually matter. SPF stands for Sun Protection Factor. It basically measures how long your skin can stay in the sun before it gets burned or reddened. So, take for example SPF 15. SPF 15 doesn't mean that your skin can last in the sun for 15 minutes. But it roughly tells you that your skin can last in the sun 15 times longer than someone who didn't wear sunscreen. So take for example, if your skin takes about 10 minutes to get burned, ideally with SPF 15, you will take about 150 minutes instead. SPF 15 blocks 93% of UVB. SPF 30 blocks about 97%, SPF 50 blocks 98%, and SPF 100 only blocks about 99%. And if you notice, that's a 4% increment from SPF 15 to SPF 30. But it's only a 2% increment from SPF 30 all the way to SPF 100. And no sunscreen blocks 100% of UVB. So SPF 100 does not mean total protection. It just means that it works a little bit better than SPF 30 and 50 at 1 percentage point only. Now, you might think that regulators are happy that such a product can block 99% instead of 98%, right? They are not. And actually the FDA has been saying this since 2011, that SPF labels above 50 are deemed as misleading. Their own draft rule in 2011 actually kept the SPF label at 60 plus, meaning that no bottle can print or label their sunscreen SPF 70, 80 or higher. So why would regulators cap a number that sounds like more protection? It's basically because what that number does to your behavior, not what it does in the lab. And FDA researchers found that products with high SPF rating but with weak UVA coverage are linked with a higher risk of skin cancer and premature aging. Not because the SPF number was fake, but because they found that people who choose a higher SPF number think that they are covered better with a single application. So they apply less carefully, less often, or even stay in the sun longer. SPF only measures one thing, UVB rays, which are the rays that burn your skin. But they mention nothing about UVA rays, which are actually the rays that causes skin aging, breaks down collagen in your skin, and also drives pigmentation. In countries like Malaysia, Japan, or Korea, you will actually see the label as PA that stands for a protection grade of UVA. It's measured with something called PPD test, which basically measures how much UVA rays are covered or blocked before it causes skin darkening. And the scale runs from PA1 plus with the lowest protection all the way to the highest protection of PA4 plus. On the other hand, in European countries, you will see it labeled as broad spectrum, which basically uses the EU ratio and requires UVA protection to be at least 1/3 of the SPF rating. Now, I'm not saying a very high SPF number is bad, but if you can find a sunscreen that has a rating of SPF 50 or above with PA4+, that's actually a very good combination. So which one is better, you might ask? Here's what actually matters. A sunscreen with SPF 50 and PA4+ protects your skin better than a sunscreen that has only SPF 100 with no PA rating at all. If your sunscreen only shows the SPF number with no PA rating at all, you're at risk of premature aging and wrinkling, and also skin darkening. Now this matters more in a country like mine because Malaysia sits on the equator. Our UV index always sits in the high to extreme high level throughout the entire year, except for the monsoon season. In this kind of environment, our skin is basically exposed to UVA rays throughout the entire day, whether it's cloudy or not. Here's what I actually want you to take away with. Number 1, when you're choosing a sunscreen between each SPF, just know that there is only a small practical gap between each numbers. Number 2, pick SPF 30 as your minimum. Number 3, pick PA3+ and above. If there's anything lesser than that, just put it back on the shelf. Number 4, reapply it often. Ideally about 2 hours to 4 hours a day, especially when you're sitting next to a window or when you're exposed to sunlight. Now, if that changed how you choose sunscreen from today onwards, subscribe for more contents like this. I'm Dr. Lucas Yeo, and I'll see you in the next one.